13 vulnerable. Good, okay, apply 2 vulnerable, gain a strength. So we're just gonna not mess around, right? 22 strength, 30 damage, 45 damage twice. Tank 28, which is rough. But doable. Hi, I'm Elk, and today we're playing more Slay the Spire 2, still in early access. Okay, we're gonna be jumping back into single player standard and seeing if we can't get a solid run on the Ironclad. Remember the first time you came before me? So furious. Okay, so we get a choice of the booming conch, a file holder, or a large capsule. Draw 2 cards on elite combats. Gain a potion slot and 2 potions, and obtain 2 random relics, but get an additional strike and defend. It's an interesting trade-off. Don't have a really close by elite, so those potions are probably not the most interesting. I'm liking one of these 2, I think. This can give me 1, 2 elites, 3 elites. Then yeah, I guess it's this side. 2 fights, 2 event in a shop. Nothing can do gold. Yeah, I think we're gonna do this side. We'll only do the 2 elites here. And we'll focus on, I think, this path. 3 fights, 2 events, campfire, elite. Okay. That's probably a long time to hold those potions, so I'm gonna go with the large capsule, because 2 relics is really good. Every other combat, your card rewards gain an additional, gain an additional power, and you start with vulnerable. Interesting. Okay. Let's give this a shot here. Got our 3 slimes with 3 vulnerables. It's doing 9, so I could double strike this guy out. And then bash, I think we will defend up and we'll bash this big guy or the 2 small guys. Bash the big guy just to add more vulnerable. Get slimed twice, that's pretty workable. And not take any damage on the first turn. Lots of strikes, so I should probably focus in on taking out that big guy and defend up here to block 5 of the 7 incoming and take 2. Well within my healing. 2 strikes for 2 strikes. Easy peasy. Gonna give me another slime. We're gonna bash and strike. And that's all taken care of. Attack potions really useful. Bloodletting, probably. Pummel strike or tremble. Bloodletting just seems good. It's not an exhaust, right? So that's just a really good card. You lose 3 HP, but you gain 2 energy. Although Pummel Strike will give me card draw and damage. Yeah, I think it's just Bloodletting. No reason to overthink that. Making your way through a hollow of dead trees. Oh, it's such a creepy tree. Transform a card or get 2 random potions. We're transforming a strike here. It becomes a spite. What does that do? Oh, if you lost HP this turn, you can hit twice for 0. Yeah, that seems good. The Nippet has got his little hackles up. We're going to double block and strike because we didn't get any other vulnerables. Take 2 there. I've got to do some healing up still. I've got Bloodletting, so we could do that to gain some extra energy. Bash him, spite him twice, defend twice. Doing good. 3 strikes, 2 defends, so 3 strikes. And no more Nippet. Energy potion, nice, get a little gold, and then we can get... Add a copy of the 3rd attack you play each turn. Not really loving that. Cinder gives me exhaust, and a lot of damage. Whirlwind is good, and I've got that energy card. No extra strength, though. Pillage gives me card draw, so deal 6 damage, draw cards until you get a non-attack card. That's pretty good. Or Whirlwind. I mean, Whirlwind's a classic, so we're going to try that out. Helps at least on taking on multiple enemies. We should just do a bunch of damage and take the 4, because that's almost down to half there. Bloodletting's good, but I don't have anything to use for it, so we'll just strike twice. And then we've got Whirlwind, which would do 15. We've got 12 and 5, which is more than enough for lethal. Okay, Dex Pot, also good. Sort of classic potions up there. Burning Pact would be nice for card draw, and it helps me clear out my... Yeah, I think it's just this. Nothing here strength gains. I've got a way to get energy, so Burning Pact seems good. Let's see what this event gives us. It's all cheese! It's made of cheese! Gain... Ooh. 1 max HP at the end of combat, or 2 commons. We'll search for cheese and find the chosen cheese. Oh, and it's brie. That's nice. Okay, so that's looking good. We should probably upgrade something here. What looks good? Whirlwind for more damage. Extra hits on spite, extra card draw, extra vulnerable, extra energy. I'm gonna go with Whirlwind. And then we're gonna take this elite here, and we're just gonna try and use potions really effectively. So we've got a vulnerable, we can apply more vulnerable, we can get a strike. And then I'm gonna just 13 1 weak 1 vulnerable, uppercut him. Okay, and then let's just take advantage. Don't need to block yet. That's good, and we've taken him down over half this first turn. Just remember he does like 1 or 2 buffs and then he hits a lot. Spite Whirlwind does 3x8, so we'll do that. And then Spite moves down to 16. And then he's going to begin, which is fine. Got 23, we have to do 16 damage. Gonna Burning Pact out a defend. And get Bloodletting. Strike. Spite. Only I do damage to me. Upgrade all cards. Heal 20 for every card, or every 5 cards you add to your deck. Okay, I mean, not perfect, but Oh, dominate is good because that can help me translate strength from vulnerable. Evil Eye is a good block gain, but I'm not having a lot of exhaust. It's got some sync. Applying vulnerable or play a random attack. I think it's dominate. Still a good card. We don't really need to heal up, so we're going to go back into Smith. This is apply 2 vulnerable, so it just becomes 2 strength. And then we also have like a bash, and if we pull that first turn, that helps me get a bunch of stuff. Bloodletting would give extra energy. That's starting to be good there. I need to keep an eye out for some better block cards. Although that Vambrace does help. There we go. Actually take the Vambrace. One more campfire. So we should maybe Smith the Dominate to get a better strength engine. And then we've got another elite here. Bardonis. Okay, so we've got... I think we're gonna do this. I'm gonna bash to add more vulnerable. Strike them. Bloodlet so I can pull a double defend. And just have a lot of block. Okay, so he's got some vulnerable on him, so this is a great time to dominate, because that gives me 5 strength. Burning Pact. This ends up giving me... Is this every turn? First time you gain block from a card each combat. Okay, so it's just the very first block. I'm gonna Burning Pact this strike out. And that ends up giving me Whirlwind. This block gives me 5. He's coming at me for 12. Yeah, it's gonna make more sense to just hit him with the vulnerable still up and take the 12. Because I should be able to lethal him this turn. Or not. Oh, no, I can. Vulnerable. Strikes. Too easy. Excellent. Varia gives me extra strength. So Unrelenting makes energy economy better. This gives me a lot more zero attack cards. Iron Wave is good to get some block. Or do I just skip it? How many more chances do I have to... 2 more cards. Don't really like this. Anger is useful, because that can just, like, keep feeding with the extra strength bonus. Yeah, I'm still pretty light on block, but I don't think Iron Wave's what I want to be doing for block. Okay, so we've got a Bloodletting and a Whirlwind. And no contest. Easy, easy. Second Bloodletting. 7 block 1 vulnerable. Whenever you play vulnerable, draw a card. Vicious is good long term, but I think I need to be able to... Second Bloodletting is also interesting, but I don't think I need it. I think... Because it doesn't exhaust, so it's just like cycling the card. So that seems good. Can I draw the... Nope. Okay, so I've got 3, maybe 4 slimes coming in. I can block fairly easily, so I should probably try and... $10 damage. I think we will add vulnerable to this front one as much as possible. Start me off with 5, and then I can pop these two, or pop one of those little ones. Okay, get slimed to block out the damage, no big deal. +5 strength is pretty big. Whirlwind, easy enough. Okay, so it seems like it's apply a lot of vulnerable, hit a whirlwind. Rage could be good for block, but I think I like Flame Barrier better. And juggling I've not understood yet, but we'll just do Flame Barrier. Alright, gain a colorless card or choose 1 of 5 random cards to add to your deck. So I think it's probably the 1 of 5. I don't know if colorless, what we've got for colorless, so we'll do that. Armaments is fun and helps me sort of get those upgrades in. Bloodletting would also be good. I'm not going to do Havoc or Cinder. Headbutt puts a card from your discard pile on top of your draw pile. I'm going to go with Armaments. I am flabbergasted by that weird purple worm. Okay, we don't need to rest, obviously. We can probably smith out here. Armaments gives me a lot more card upgrade. That deals a lot more damage. That hits more times. Hits more times is good. This just hits harder. This applies more vulnerable, which is also good. I think we're going to go with Armaments because that lets me like get a little block and then also upgrade. Okay, we've got our lovely Phantom. We're gonna taunt him for block. And we'll just pop some strikes. And I'm not that worried about it. Right, we can't hit him until these guys are out. Ooh, okay. Interesting. We're just gonna do that. Note to self, get rid of some blocks. And then I'm going to get no block here. Oh, no, I'm going to get Flame Barrier. That's pretty good. Okay, so we've got an obvious Flame Barrier. Okay. And then I've got anything drawn here that's useful. Not for Spite. There's Spite and Bloodletting. Okay, so 2 out of 3, and this draws 2. Yeah. I don't really wanna... I can Burning Pact Anger. And then hit Spite. Okay, not the greatest. And we're not really defending that well against the 27. Some wounds. Maybe I should have taken something with Exhaust. Okay, so we've got Bloodletting, Armaments, just to get some upgrades in. All good. I think we should probably just drink this. Well, it doesn't matter this turn, because we can only do that. Okay, 8x2 coming in. We need more defend. 7 cards here. None of them are Burning Pact. One of them's a Flame Barrier. Okay, lateral move. I'm gonna do the Dominate to build some strength up. We'll go ahead and drink that this turn to gain a bit more block, and then we can Spite them. We're almost through the Slippery. Okay, we can do Taunt and Flame Barrier, and that blocks 25. And then Whirlwind with the last. I can just do Flame Barrier, and that blocks 14. I'm gonna just be cautious about my health here, and we'll only take 6. But we'll get more wounds. finally get through his slippery. Okay, so let's Burning Pact out another defend to get wounds, so that's not the most useful thing. Okay, we've got 11 incoming. So it would be Bloodletting. The strike is doing 12, which is better than the 11, so we'll do that, and then we'll just chunk out another 50 there and take the 11. Spending a lot of HP this fight. Got a couple block cards, so we're gonna Armaments. Taunt. I've got 20 coming in, but I'm just gonna hit, because I gotta try and get this guy down to something that's close to lethal. And hope that we... 14 and 7 is 21, so that's definitely what we're doing. So that we're only taking 10. Okay, not attacking, so Flame Barrier is not that useful. I think it would be a Taunt and a Bash. Down to 34. With Vulnerable. Fingers crossed. Bloodletting. Defend and 2 strikes. So we've got 18 and 18. Haha. Lethal off of 2 upgraded strikes. 100 gold. Nice, I should probably be looking for a shop. Okay, Pyre, which is useful to gain energy at the start of each turn. Aggression, at the start of your turn, put a random attack from your discard pile into your hand and upgrade it. I don't really need that. Can only be played if you have 3 or more cards in your exhaust pile. Or Hellraiser, whenever you draw a card containing strike, it's played against a random enemy. Is that useful? I don't think so. So it's probably Pact's End, right? Or Aggression, or Pyre, but not Hellraiser. I have energy, so it would be more between these two. You can only be played if you have 3 or more cards in your exhaust pile, but costs 0, and it hits all enemies. I think this is probably really good. Yeah, I've got the Armaments, so I don't really need another way to upgrade the cards in there. So we will take Pact's End, and we will look for a couple more like targeted exhaust cards, and then that ends up being pretty good. Okay, what's the way to that's the closest store? It can come from any direction, so let's go see what we get from, other than a nice heal from Orobas. We can get very good finds. Look. A Glass Eye. Upon picking up, you obtain 2 common, 2 uncommon, and 1 rare. I'm getting beefy on my deck, so that's not the greatest. This heals me more, and this gives me more potion slots. Yeah, I don't know if I'm really looking for a bunch more cards, even if they're a good thing, so I think we're going to go with potions. And that gives me some options, like a vulnerable. That's good. Gain energy. 2 cards gain 2 energy. Okay, good. I'm likely here to do these 2 events. And then this guy here, instead of those 3 events, upgrade and then straight up to the elite. And then I can choose my elite after that. Okay. Yeah, that seems fun. Yeah, we got these 3 boogs. 3 exoskeleton boogs. That's almost definitely Armaments and Flame Barrier. And then they just hit themselves a lot. I should probably tap you, so that you get close. 1, 2, 3, you're down. 1, you've just done 6 for yourself, and you boosted your strength. 2 strikes for 7, bloodletting gives me 3 energy, he's coming at me for 10. Yeah. We just play all my cards. We're blocking for 10, so it's going to make more sense to pull you into lethal. And then Whirlwind. Should have... well, maybe there was a better way to do that, but I don't think it matters too much. Two strength this turn's not be that useful. Havoc's not that useful. I don't know if another anger is going to be that useful either. I think this is keeping my deck a little bit on the leaner side. Mostly I'm trying to get rid of some of these defense and pick up better defense cards. Although, if I can get rid of those strikes too, this would be better, but let's not do that. Set up strike. No, I think we're good here. We're just gonna skip that card reward and go into an event. Okay, removing cards seems good, right? We just were talking about that. And this is a better rate, 125 for 2, 125 for 1, so it's not a better rate than the store, but I think we can just do that. Make my deck a little bit more speedy. My nemesis, the Tunneler. We can hit armaments, we can hit taunt, we can pop an anger and a strike, and take no damage. He's gonna buff himself. I don't need to block on this one, because he's just gonna burrow. Okay, so I should... 3 energy. I should dominate. Pretty obviously. Of my 4 cards, do I have enough in my... I don't. So Flame Barrier makes sense. We can hit him with a Spite. 23 coming in. Doing more... no, I think we're good. Just gonna pop a little bit more onto himself there, but I've got enough there. Okay, I've got a bunch of damage. I can do 14 times 3. Yeah. Don't think we really have to think about that. It's just lethal. Fire Potion useful. Okay, Second Wind... Tremble, also good for strength builds. This can give me an emergency block, but it's pretty heavy on the exhaust. The start of your turn, exhaust the top card of your draw pile. I don't think that's useful for me. I really like Tremble here. This is getting to be a pretty good vulnerable deck, so we'll do that up. Take one more event, and then we'll head to the... get your relics here. Oh, this is not... useful. Do I have anything I can... no, I can't throw things at him. Okay, this is just a lovely not merchant. Let's leave you be and head over to the real merchant. That's a little less creepy. We can get a Blood Vial. We can get a Pommel Strike. We can get a True Grit. Actually, that solves a few things. So we could remove like another block, take a True Grit, and then we can exhaust out cards that are not... oh, but Molten Fist. Okay, so that's 98 gold and 75. Yeah, we can get all of those. So let's remove a block. Let's take a True Grit and a Molten Fist. And we are looking pretty upgraded. We're going to be looking for other defend sources, because we don't have a crazy amount there, but got a good amount of Yeah, it makes more sense to take the campfire here for an upgrade. Tremble can give more. That just does more damage. True Grit gives me targeted exhaust, which is useful. Taking another event here. I think we're up for the... Yeah, especially with all these potions, we're up for the elite. You're gonna summon. I can... Taunt. Tremble. Anger. And then we'll True Grit out this defend. Not that we needed to block, but... Okay, he gets a couple eggs. Armaments. We can dominate. We can Pact's End and get rid of a bunch of eggs. We should... 16 incoming. I don't have a way to block, right? Gain energy, gain strength. So I could do 17 and 16, which isn't gonna really help out, so we're just gonna end up taking the 11 here. So we can do 17 and 13. No, we can do 19 and 25. Which is 24 damage, so we're gonna need to Burning Pact no matter what. 2/0 cards or Flame Barrier. So let's Burning Pact out that. And then we can Molten Fist, we can Strike, we can Spite, and that gets me to lethal. Okay, Swift Potion's nice. Headbutt, Infernal Blade, or Havoc. Is there something I would like to cycle? Other than... Oh, probably Bloodletting would be a great cycle card. Yeah? Let's grab a relic here. Oddly Smooth Stone. Good, that helps solve a little bit of the block equation. Okay, we've got our Entomancer. This gives me strength. This lets me upgrade Bloodletting. Okay, so we're gonna True Grit the Strike. We're gonna... Dominate to get a little strength in. We'll Armaments, and we'll end the turn there. Taking no damage. He's got 18 coming in. I can do 13 block. Bash to keep that vulnerable up. I think this is the turn to do that. I could also... Gonna save those. I don't feel like this is too worrying to take a little bit of damage here. Bloodletting, so we can headbutt, put Bloodletting on top of our deck, can Burning Pact out the Anger, and then we can get Bloodletting. We can get... Got 4, so Taunt, Tremble, Pact's End. We might as well just draw cards because we've got extra energy, and then we can Whirlwind, and down to 17. Not ideal. 10 is actually 15. I could do it like that. I could gain an energy and draw some more cards. How many more cards? 2 more cards, so like 50-50 chance I get the Spite, which would be enough to be lethal. Yeah, there we go. There we go. No Entomancer there. Get some gold, get a Gorget to give me a bit more block, because that's plating at the start. Vulnerable Potion, that's 2 of them. That's nice. I think if we double Vulnerable Potion, the Inflame's useful because it's a power, so it just like sits out of my deck after I play for the 1. Playing 4 vulnerable is good, but I've already got this card. Yeah. Though it does exhaust, so that is also useful. I'm gonna probably not do Fight Me, because that starts building the enemy's strength, and I don't love that. Twin Strike, technically useful, but I've got other options right now. So between a Flame or another Tremble, this does more damage than this. And I have an option to make... It's like a one-time use, though. Stick with the Vulnerable. I've only got 100 gold, so this is not going to be the most useful. But I could still card remove. Feel no pain. Gain block when things are exhausted. I've got 2 exhaust cards. So that does feel useful. And it's a power, so it doesn't really increase my deck's total size. My other option is getting rid of a strike, which is not the most useful thing. Like, some attacking is good. I think we're going to do that, and then we'll try to figure out our exhaust strategy. I don't think another card's going to be that useful versus an upgrade, because I still have some things to do upgrade-wise. Even Burning Pact or Taunt or Flame Barrier. That just does more damage. This just does more damage. This gives me more block. This applies more vulnerable. I think we're gonna do Burning Pact to get a little bit more velocity. And we'll come into the elite here. Decimillipede. Okay, we've got some attacks coming in. Nothing might discard for headbutts. Let's Burning Pact out a strike. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna feel no pain. Do I still have an energy? I don't. Okay, so I need to do some block, and I need to... Well, I can only block 12, right? Reasonably speaking. Which, I mean, is a lot, but I don't think that's that useful in comparison to getting 5 strength. 6 strength. Let's just do that. Oh, I should have... Oh, I'm going to save those for the final boss here. I've also got the fire potion only does single target. Okay, so we're just gonna take a bunch of damage, which I'm pretty okay with. Got some time to heal up, and we've got full health anyways. So Flame Barrier is probably the most useful here, but we're gonna hit Armaments and then Flame Barrier just to take everything for a little upgrade. Just let them do some damage to themselves. And then Pack's End, we've got enough. Bloodletting can give me more energy. Taunt can give me more vulnerable. That's doing 18-ish, so we should set up any other vulnerable we can do. Yeah. We'll hit you, and we'll hit you, just so that ends up doing a fair bit more, but nothing lethal. We're probably better off taking 14 And 2 is 16. We could throw this at the 14, and then we're just having 16 incoming, and we mostly block it. And we still have next turn to lethal these guys. Which is very doable, a 4 and a 12. And a whirlwind. And is no problem. Molten egg for attacks? That's good. We'll do that. Cinder lets me exhaust a card at random. Pyre gives me more energy. I'm gonna take the Rage, I think. Whenever you play an attack this turn, you gain 3 block. It is a block solve. It's not the greatest block solve, but it is a block solve. Yeah, 7 or 9 3 times. 9 3 times. Easy. $16 incoming, but we just have to do 21 damage. I don't have any splash. Oh, and I've got this. So we can tremble you, True Grit out the strike, hit anger, block the incoming damage. You're down to 74, keeps gaining strength. Can do armaments and flame barrier or molten fist, or we have a low chance of drawing anything useful, right? Pack's End won't work, and bloodletting would give energy, but it's like out of 3, 10, yeah, 30% chance. So flame barrier is better here. And we'll still take a bunch of damage, but not too much, like 6 or 7. We can do bloodletting to get the extra energy. Pop in a Feel No Pain. 6 twice, 9 twice. Is probably better on you. Take the damage. Grab a little extra strength here. We're gonna probably toss a Tremble, Dominate, Headbutt. Right. Or we could dominate you to still gain the strength, hit you, and then defend to take some block. I think we're gonna go with that. Dominate you. Strike you out. Defend up. Because we are down to like half health here. Okay, 19 incoming. Full deck here, but we've got a bloodletting, so it's worthwhile just getting some extra draw here, because we get a Pack's End, which can clear that guy. A strike here, an anger here. And we got it cleared. Doing great on the health front, but setup strike would be the only one that's that useful there. I think we're just gonna skip out. Does it feel like healing is better, or an upgrade of something? Something. I think we're gonna heal up just to be safe. Not that we were on a crazy low amount, but okay, so we've got an Empower, and he's going to grab me a bunch of status cards. We should probably just stack a bunch of Vulnerable this turn. Taunt. Bash. Strike. We'll wait till we get the card for it before we stack a bunch of potions on him. Frantic Escape. Not looking there, so we're gonna True Grit out the strike. Seems good. We're gonna Molten Fist to double the vulnerable. We're gonna Anger. And we're gonna Spite. And we'll block for most of that. 13 vulnerable. Good. Okay, apply 2 vulnerable, gain a strength. So we're just gonna not mess around, right? 22 strength, 30 damage, 45 damage twice. Tank 28, which is rough. But doable. Okay, we can do an Armaments, we can do a Tremble. I don't really know if we need to stack more Vulnerable at this point. We can do a Headbutt, which can let us have Bloodletting on the top there. Do a simple Strike. And we should be fine next turn here. $28. Blocking Flame Barrier. Strike. Bloodletting because we can, and we'll just play these 2, keep us a little further away. We'll end up taking 1 there, but that's really manageable. And we will hopefully be able to get 1 attack card. There it goes. Okay, Fish Oil, 1 Strength, 1 Dexterity. Useful. And okay, we get Cruelty. Enemies take an additional 25% from Vulnerable. I think that sounds like a no-brainer there. At the start of your random discard into your hand and upgrade it. Yeah, it's Cruelty. Easy enough. And then we've got the Door Maker here. Let's see what we get from this guy. So weak, but you have potential. Use this weapon. Warhammer, whenever you kill an elite, upgrade 4 random cards. Pretty good. Add a Whistle. 33 damage and stun, but it takes 3. Instinct. This card's attack damage is doubled for 3 attacks. So that would be pretty easy to be like, something like Spite and Whirlwind and maybe even just like Anger or something. I think the third one doesn't matter too much. Yeah, I think it's the Tri-Boomerang. Not really hurting for card upgrades. Oh, it's Pack Send. What am I doing? Of course it's Pack Send. Yeah, do that. Proceed. Okay, getting pretty good instincts there. What are we... Right, we're at the... Electrified a Door Maker. Ancients reside in these rooms. They grant incredible bonuses, treasures, and knowledge. Okay. Cool. Oh, it's just telling me where I am. Okay, I've got 215, so that store is not that appealing, but like a store here would be. We can choose between doing 2 elites and 1 elite. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling like we might just do 2 elites here. I do need to build up some potions. The Devoted Sculptor is here. Cool. Not the greatest top deck for that one. The Magnificent Caw. 9. Well, that's pretty intense. 17 3 times isn't enough. Doesn't have any vulnerable. But we'll set up for more vulnerable. So 11 or 17 will be 17. And end up taking a few little damage there, like 3 of them. We can headbutt, right? That would give me Burr or Bloodletting here. We can Burning Pact out the defend. We can Bloodletting. Double Spite. Defend, strike. Still take a decent hit. Coming at me for 30. Can do 2 trembles and a dominate. Okay, I could do a dominate and a bash. He's nowhere near lethal. Okay. So we're gonna set up 10 strength here. Just take 29 damage. And then whirlwind out 45 damage 3 times. That's decent. Okay, I need to solve more for... Ooh, whenever you lose HP on your turn, gain 2 strength. Yep, that's how we solve for block, is gaining more strength. We're gonna maybe after... Oh, because I added a card to my deck, so I healed up. I'll decide after this one. If both of these fights were that hard, I should probably not take on 2 elites, but this seems like pretty reasonable. We can... focus down on you. I don't have any, really block this turn, but we can always just stack you up with a bunch of vulnerable so that if I draw that card that builds strength off of it, it would be good. Which I drew there. I can also get Rupture, but I think we can just dominate here to get another 10 strength. Add Cruelty, because who doesn't need a little Cruelty? That's 28 damage, so that's not lethal. 10 and 14, and I'm blocking 12. Probably should have done that earlier. At least block 17 there. Okay, so we've got Molten Fist, Bloodletting, Bash, Headbutts. Okay, so I think we have to do Headbutt, and we can put Spite on top of my deck. We can do Bloodletting to Flame Barrier to Molten Fist to Bash. I guess I didn't need to do the or the Flame Barrier, but that's fine. Vulnerable Potion's very useful. True Grit, because that's going to help me solve a little bit of block. I think we're doing fine. This might be hubris, but I think we're doing fine. The battle-worn dummy. Time to train. You have 3 turns to defeat me. Choose a setting or face lethal humiliation. Potion, random relic for 3 turns. I'm just gonna do the real easy one. Oh, he doesn't attack. Okay. So Tremble, Molten Fist, Spite, Bash, Strike. Oh, I should have probably done Headbutt, but that's fine. Gotta do another 20. Whirlwind, easy enough. Another weak potion, or a weak potion. You passed the training. You are now equipped to defend this factory against intruders. Be sure to hydrate after every training session. Oh, you're a fun guy, a fabricator. You're gonna summon somebody? True Grit outed. Oh, it's a... I didn't upgrade it yet. No anger. It's fine. We're just playing cards. 32 block. No real reason. Got some drones there. It gains 2 strength and gives you 2 status cards. I did get a Whirlwind and a Rupture. 17 damage 3 times, right? Yeah, 2, 3. Not really worrying about it. More of them, that's a-okay. Stack vulnerable on you. I think we do armaments first to get the upgrades. Vulnerable here. Dominate here. Then Spite is 15. Just 15. Which is fine. I'm only taking -1 damage, so we're not in a big bad place. Oh, he's... all of these are doing just random stuff. Okay, this is a bit more of a big bad place. Okay, so I can do 22... which lets me take out this guy, and then I can weak this guy to take out 11. Okay, I will either do Feel No Pain or Vulnerable, and feeling like Feel No Pain is probably a better option in this scenario. Because I'm going to take 22 here. Get a couple dazed, that's fine. Hit me some True Grit, so I can do that to the dazed, and then I can Pax End to do that up. And then I don't need to do Bloodletting to bash. And then he's down to 5, that did help out a bunch there. And then just literally... anything, but we'll take 58 from a Pax End. Set up Pummel or Twin Strike. I think we get a chance to skip this one, right? Pummel Strike, it does give me more card draw. Yeah, we'll do that. Globe Head. 13 and a debuff. So whenever... ooh, why is that weird? Powers are affected with Galvanized. You take 6 damage when you play a power. Okay. Let's... defend up and then bash. And we'll just try and be as aggressive as possible here. Frail's probably not going to help too much there. We can 6x3. So what are we doing? 25, 3 times 75 damage. That's not. And then 11. So that's not lethal. Do this. I'm gonna do this. And gain 8 strength. And then 36 twice, spite here, down to 36, take 18, and hopefully lethal next turn. Not lethal this turn, so Armaments gives block. True Grit, I'm just going to do that. And then attack. Take a little bit of damage, but we're not looking great. And then Anger. Easy enough. 42 is not a lot of health. Liquid Bronze. Stone Armor would be amazing. Colossus would also be really good. I think we're going to do Colossus. And we'll see if we can take on these knights. So we are going to drink this potion. We're going to use Colossus. We're going to set up Cruelty, and we're going to hit the Magi Knight. Not take any damage this first turn, but let them just hit against the thorns a bit. We're going to do Rage. We're going to taunt you. We're going to hit Spite. Headbutt to cycle the Spite and strike you. Down to 19. Take 10 damage here. But it's coming along. We know we can do Armaments to get Whirlwind up. And then we can do Spite here to do that, so we can apply Vulnerable onto you for a few turns, and then hit you with 117. Takes you down. Lots of damage incoming. But we're still standing. We can do Flame Barrier. 13. And we can do 9, 24 incoming, so I do not block enough. So we should Burning Pact the strike. Okay, and then we can do Bloodletting. We can bash this guy, do Pact's End, and then Pommel Strike. You're down to 26. I'm only taking 1 damage. I only have 3 left. But you're at 19. I can do 18 here without Vulnerable. So that's good. We can Tremble you. We can Molten Fist. And you're gone. Okay. All enemies lose 7 strength this turn. That's a great potion. Ice Cream gives energy conservation. Also useful. Deal 9 damage, increases cards damage by 9 this combat, or cycle something. I think we have to skip those. Get me a relic. Mummified Hand. Yes, please. Both really good there. Okay, I don't have a lot of powers, but how do we get through this guy? Tremble him. Spite him. Bash him. Defend. Not worried about block. Got a lot of plating, but that's workable. Gonna do... Oh, we're pretty much... Yeah. Gonna do that. We'll play Rage. We'll... 21 coming at me, 12 And 4 is 16, and 3 is 7. Okay. Dominate for more vulnerable. True Grit, and we'll exhaust Flame Barrier, and we'll throw the Shackle Potion. And we will full block. Okay, let's apply some more. I've already used Dominate, so I'm not that worried about that. Let's Pummel Strike to see if we get anything fun. Pack's End is fun. Cruelty is fun. We could play a Defend for nothing, but it's not useful. Okay, he's given himself 5 strength, which is going to make this harder. Okay, so we are going to do Colossus. We are going to add extra block. I'm blocking 15, so I've got to block more. So I don't have any extra health. Whirlwind does 23 3 times, so that's 70. Nope, that's 69, which isn't enough to do it. But I've got a Bloodletting and an Anger, and so you will go away. Okay, 20 Explosive Potion. Card draw. Okay, don't love that, but powers are useful because of the Mummified Hand. Stomp is technically useful. Iron Wave would be good. We're going to do Vicious, because that's got good synergy. And then we found ourselves a Soul Nexus. Okay. Fun. Let's apply Vulnerable. Let's give ourselves 16 block. Let's do Spite. Let's do Strike. Let's do Anger. I've only got 30, so that leaves me with... Oh, so block says 5. I've got 5 health points. Nothing to worry about. Gonna do Vicious. And that gives me a free True Grit, which I'm gonna just... Oh, that's still not upgraded. So we've got to do Defend, Whirlwind, True Grit, and I block 17. Okay, coming at me for 43. I can technically Bloodlet. No way that I win this. No way to win this. Right. At least doing it on my terms. Rage. Pack's End. Okay, overambitious to take on 2 elites. I did go the wrong way, that is correct. Okay, Epoch unlocked. Got some more stuff. The Calm. The blight stopped consuming. The ground, dry and brittle, begins to moisten. The clouds around the spire douse the lands. The sunlight pierces through the newly formed cracks in the clouds. It has been done. Someone has slain the spire. Some extra potions. So loses 9 HP at the end of its turns. That's great. Okay, double block potion. And Choose a card in your hand. It's free to play. Cool. And what have we got here? The Darv. Spire's reopened, eh? More treasures for my collection. Darv smelled riches in the air and entered the Spire on his trusty speed. Okay, new ancient, the Hoarder. Amazing. I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please feed the algorithm to help my channel grow, and I'll see you all next time.